All right, back to indicator 34. And again, the learning target, of course, is the same because it's the same indicator. I can explain the purpose of a measure of center and what it says about a data set. And I can explain the purpose of a measure of variation and what it says about a data set. Okay. So measure of central tendency, again, as I had explained in part 1 of this video, which was on mean. That measure central tendency, basically it is the center of the data set, okay? And it represents the center of a data set, and we have already discussed that mean is one way to find this, in which we add up all the numbers in the data set and we divide it by how many numbers are there in the data set. So that's how you find mean or average, okay? And then the next thing, the other two methods are median and mode. These are also measures of central tendency, all right? So let's go ahead and talk about what is median, okay? So median is nothing but the middle value. So just median, the DD over here, that just tells you that it is the middle value, okay? This is the middle. And there are certain steps that are involved in finding the median, okay? The most important thing, like this is what students do normally. They'll just look at this and they'll tell me the middle number is 8. But then everything is going to be wrong in that situation. So the first step for median is order the data from smallest to largest. Okay? So you are supposed to order the data. If you don't place it in the correct order, you are going to get an incorrect answer. So number one rule for median, and median is essential, guys. You have got to really have a good comprehension of this, because your entire box and whisker plots coming up in the next unit is completely related to median. So make sure that you understand median really well, okay? So the first step in median is to put the numbers in the correct order from the smallest to the largest, the most important step first, okay? So now let's see, the smallest one over here is 8. Then we have smallest is 5. Then we have 8. Then we have 9. Then we have 12. Then we have 14. Okay? Always do this. After you have put your numbers, make sure you go and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you need to count again to make sure you haven't made a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I have 5 numbers now. Okay? So once you have done this, you are going to start marking off from both extremes until you reach the middle. Okay? So I take off one here, I take off one here, take off another one here, take off another one here. So now look, what is my median, or the middle number is 9. Okay? Now, I want to talk to you why I've written odd number set or even number set. Okay? So, odd number sets are sets in which I will have 3 numbers or 5 numbers, 7 numbers, 9 numbers, 23 numbers. So whenever I have an odd number set, I am going to get only one number in the middle. And that number is my median. Like in this case, my median is 9. Okay, so here is my answer for this one. But when I have an even numbered set, 4 numbers, 6 numbers, 8, 10, 44, however many, but they are even set of numbers, then I'm going to end up with 2 numbers in the middle. So let me show you, when you get 2 numbers in the middle, what you're supposed to do. Okay, so first step, the most important step, as I told you, is this: order the data. So we're going to look at these numbers and let's put them in the correct order. So the smallest one is 2. And you're welcome to do this while you are writing it down so you don't make a mistake. Okay. Next one I can see is 3. So I can remove this. Next is 5. I can remove this. Next is 7. Next is 10. And then the last one is 11. Okay, so let's see. 1, this is the next step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then look over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so since this is 6 numbers, I know automatically because it's an even set of numbers, I am definitely going to end up with 2 numbers in the middle. Okay, so this is what I'll do now. Take off 1, take off here, here, here. Now look, what do I have? I have 5 and I have 7. So when I have 2 numbers, please don't tell me that the middle number is 5 and 7. They can only have one middle number. Okay. So when I have 2 numbers in the middle, I am going to find the mean or the average of those 2 numbers. So now look, I am going to do 5 plus 7 because I'm finding the average of the 2 numbers, the mean of the 2 numbers. And since I am adding 2 numbers, there are 2 numbers I'm dividing by 2. And that will give me the middle. So I have 12. 5 plus 7 is 12 divided by 2. And my median is 6. Okay, my median is 6. But even if I'm looking at 5 and I'm looking at 7, what number do you think is going to be right bang in the middle of 5 and 7? 6. All right, so even if with reasoning. But if you're showing your calculations, this is what you do. Find the median of the the mean of the 2 numbers, and that is going to give you your median, which is your middle number. Okay, so that's what median is. And a mode now. Okay, if I say mode, mode is the mode of a data set is the value of values that occur most often. Okay, so look at this. Most often. Value that is occurring the most often. Okay, data can have one mode, more than one mode, or no mode. Okay, when all values occur only once, there is no mode. Okay, so let's say I give you, for example here, 5, 8, 9, 12, 14. Is anything, well, first let me show you what mode is. Okay, before I go into that. All right, let's say I give you 11, and remember again, please put them in the correct order, but I'm just going to go ahead and put in the correct order right now so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. Now, if I show this to you and ask you what is the mode you're looking at, okay, which one is occurring the most? Okay, so this is occurring once, this is 2 times, this is 1, this is also 2 times. Okay, so as I can see that these 2 are occurring the most. So as I said, you can have no mode, you can have one mode, or you can have more than one mode. Okay, so in this case, because 15 and 24 are occurring the most, my mode is going to be 15 and 24. These are both my modes. Okay, so these are both my modes. Now, let's go back to this. If I have the data, 5, 8, 9, 12, 14, and I ask you, what is the mode? A lot of times children say 0. Don't do that, because don't forget that 0 is a number, okay? And that means if I say 0, this is what it means. That means 0 is in that set. Okay, so don't say 0. If there is no number repeating, they're all written just once like this, you will write no mode. You will write no mode. Okay, please don't write 0 because 0 is a number, and if you say 0 mode, that means there are several zeros. 0 is the mode, that means several zeros are repeating over there. So you write no mode in a situation like this. Okay, let's say I took this one and I added on so if I have this data now, 11, 13, 15, 15, 18, 21, 24, 24, and then I have 3 of the 26, then guess what? It will not be this anymore. The new mode in this case would be 26, because what is 26 is the most now, because there are 3 of 26, but the other 2, even though they are repeated, they are only 2 of them. But remember, mode means which number is occurring the most, okay? Or which data is occurring the most. So therefore, in this case, because we have 3 of these, that number is repeating the most, and that is why this is the mode, okay? So, last thing is range. And range is nothing but it is the difference between the greatest value and the least value. And the range describes the spread of the data. Okay, spread of data. Spread of data. And basically it tells you you are finding the difference between the greatest and the smallest. That means the largest in the data minus the smallest number. Okay, so largest number minus the smallest number in the data set gives me the range. So range is to calculate the spread of the data. Okay, it gives you a thing to compare, or so if you look over here, what is my range for this one? I'm going to look at the highest number, which is 14, the smallest number, which is 5, and I'm going to do 14 minus 5, and I get 9. So my range is 9. My range is 9. Literally taking the largest number minus the smallest number in order for you to find the range. Okay, in this case I would have done 26 minus 11. Okay, so 26 minus 11 is what I would have done over here, and I would have got 5. So 15 is my range in this case. Okay, so you've got to calculate it too. Don't just say range is this, because you have to do that calculation. So range of numbers from 11 to 26 is 15. Okay, so that's what range is. All right, so let's go ahead and solve one problem. And we are going to find the median, mode, and range. Okay? All right, so let's say you have been given numbers like this. Okay, so let's say you have been given these many numbers, okay? And so first thing you do is, as I said, order the data. That is the first step. Order the data from least to the largest. That's also you also say ascending order, ascending, going up. So smallest to the largest is ascending order. Okay. So let's order this. Smallest is 90. Okay. Then you have 105. Okay. Then you have 120. And then you have 125. And then we have 135. And 145. 160. And there's another 160. 175 and 205. Okay. So now let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have the correct number of data. Okay. So let's calculate the median. And this is exactly what we're doing, but for mode also it's okay to have it out like this because it helps you look at the numbers together, okay? So let's start here. First one, last one. Second, second last. Third, third last. So this is how you keep going. Now this one, because we had 10 numbers, we know it's an even set of numbers, so I know I'm going to have 2 numbers in the middle, okay? So because I have 2 numbers in the middle, I am going to find the mean of the 2 numbers. I have 135 plus 145 divided by 2. And if I add up 135 plus 145, I am going to get 280 divided by 2. And that gives me 1, okay, this if I simplify, I get 100. 40 is my median. Now, if you even think of it logically, what is a number bang in the middle of 135, 145? Of course, 140. So 140 is your middle number of this data set. Okay, so we found the median. Now for mode, let's see which number is occurring the most. The most. So this is one time, one time, one time, one time, one time, one time. Oh, 2 times. This is 1 and 1. So your mode is going to be 160. Okay. And then if I was finding out the range, I would take the biggest number. So here we go. Range is the largest number in the data set, which is 205. Minus the smallest number, which is 90. And then I am going to subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. I cannot take away 9 from 0, so I borrow here. This becomes 1 and this becomes 10. 10 minus 9 is 1 and 1 minus, this is going to annex 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. So my range is 150. Okay, so this is my range. So this is what median, mode, and range are. One last thing that I definitely want to show you is a frequency table. Okay, so frequency, basically what does frequency mean? When we talk about frequency, it means how many times something is occurring. Okay, so how many times something is occurring. And very, very good to calculate the mode. Okay, very good to calculate the mode. So let's look at this one. I have made out a chart like this and it's got favorite types of movies. And this could be things, a lot of things we could use a frequency table for. Let's say, in this class, we're doing a survey of the favorite color. Favorite food. There are so many things. And then with that, we make a frequency table. Okay, it helps to organize the work. Tables, charts, graphs. These are all visual representations of data which help us to read the graph and organize the graph or organize the data really well. Okay, so we're going to make a frequency table. And in a frequency table, obviously it's a table. So you have to make a table. Okay, and we are going to divide it into 3 categories or 3 columns, let's say that. Okay, and we are going to title this the type of movie, okay, the tally marks, and I'm sure you all know what tally marks are, but I'll show you in a minute, and the frequency. Okay, so let's say those are the favorite type of movies. We are going to try to find the mode after organizing the frequency table. So let's see what different genres of movies we have there. We have action. There is comedy. There is drama. And there is horror. Okay, so each time I say a certain movie from there, I am going to put a tally mark, and tally marks are made like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So each of the 5s are categorized into groups, so it becomes really easy to read the frequency later on. Okay, so all right, first one. Okay, so we have comedy, then we have horror, then we have comedy again, we have action. So as you can see, I am reading this and I am putting it here. Okay, then I have horror, then I have comedy again, and then I have 2 horrors. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8 tally marks right now. Then I have 2 dramas, 2 comedies. So 1, 2, because that's 5. All right. Then I have drama, comedy, comedy, action. Drama, comedy, comedy, action. Horror, horror. So this is the 5th one for horror, then horror. Action, action. Comedy, horror. Comedy, horror. Action, drama. Okay, so we know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3, that is 24. So make sure that you have 24 of the tally marks. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, 24, 20. Ooh, did I have put in an extra thing by the 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24, yes. So 24 of those tally marks are there. Okay, now once I have my tally marks, this is so easy. What is frequency? It is how many times something is occurring. So if I look at the tally marks for the action, how many do I have? I have 5. So that is my frequency. As simple as that. Here I have 5, 6, 7, 8. Here I have drama is 4, and then horror is 5, 6, 7. So that is 7. So now looking at this, I have just put it together, and make sure then you count up 5 plus 8 plus 4 plus 7. And yes, when I do that calculation, total amount is coming to 24. So I have the correct amount. Even if one is off here or there, is going to mess up your entire table. Okay, so be careful. So now looking at this, we are going to look at, okay, which one is the mode? Please don't say 8. Otherwise, we'll think that the number 8 has been repeated a lot of times in that data set. When you say mode, you're going to say comedy is the mode, okay? Because that's what we are talking about. Mode is comedy. All right, please don't write the number 8 because that will be incorrect. because if you write mode is 8, that means 8 is repeating in that data set, okay? So here is saying which is the favorite type, which is watched the most. It is comedy is watched the most, okay? So this is what a frequency table is. Just wanted to show that to you. And that about sums up this part of the indicator. Again, remember, median is the middle number. You have got to organize median first when you have the data set given to you in the correct order from the smallest to the largest. Remember, if they are an odd set of data, you will have one number in the middle. If you have an even set of data, you will have two numbers in the middle. Okay. Then you have mode, which is the number that is occurring the most. If a number is not repeated at all, please write no mode. Do not write 0, because 0 means that number has been repeated, okay? Or is occurring the most, not repeated, it's occurring the most. And then range is the largest number in the data set minus the smallest number in the data set gives the spread of the data. All right, so this concludes part 2 of indicator 34, and then we just have one more left, which is analyzing data. All right, see you in a little bit.